Talking about being full of shit. Big up OpenAI. I guess DeepSeek, that Chinese AI platform, put a lot of pressure on OpenAI. And I think if anything, what DeepSeek did, in my personal opinion, was that they exposed some of the money that gets wasted in venture capital, or some of the money that gets wasted with startups in general and in tech. I feel like a lot of these tech companies, a lot of these startups, basically the raising of finances and funds or whatever, investment rounds, it's more so a way to flex about your growth and to maybe signify that you're going in the right direction. But very rarely is the money that's raised ever used to do like useful things or to actually push the product or the service further. It's just about optics. So it's good that DeepSeek were able to launch that AI model that they launched with however many millions. I think it was like a couple of million only, maybe let's say under 10 million compared to what OpenAI has been raising over the years. And this works completely fine. It's of the level of, AI is like Grok and shit. And I think that kind of exposed OpenAI's system and what they basically do. So I think they've had to really go back to the drawing board and really try and kind of justify the money that's been raised, the amount of people that they've hired, the amount of people that they've fired for all the money that they've been able to raise through various investment runs. They had to do that, which is why they launched this really fucking cool feature, this really freaking cool feature called image generation. It's only available now at the moment on the paid tier of OpenAI. So if you've got the free version that we all have via our browser, you won't be able to use it just yet, but it's pretty fucking cool. So this is courtesy of OpenAI's blog. It says introducing 4.0 image generation. At OpenAI, we have long believed that image generation should be a primary capability of our language models. That's why we've built our most advanced image generator yet into our GPT 4.0 or 4.0. The result of image generation is that it's not only beautiful, but useful. So this is the prompt that somebody did for the image. The prompt is taken as follows. A wide image taken with a phone on a glass whiteboard in a room overlooking the Bay Ridge. The field of view shows a woman writing, sporting a t-shirt with a large OpenAI logo. The handwriting looks natural and a bit messy, and we see the photographers in the reflection. That's the prompt, right? That's the prompt, and look at the image it generated. That is fucking incredible. Look at the image it generated. It actually generated an image of a woman writing on the whiteboard with an OpenAI t-shirt on, and it looks fucking real. It legitimately looks real. This looks way scarier and real than the other things that we've been able to see from OpenAI. This is fucking incredible. One incredible image generation. Another one here is still the hands are a bit soft. The hands are a bit dodgy though. Still, the hands are a bit dodgy. It says here a selfie view of a photographer as he turns around to high five him. So the images of the people and the whiteboard still are pretty decent. The placement of the t-shirt, how it stands there, how the graphic lays on the t-shirt is pretty good. But the hands, the AI models that we have at the moment still can't really figure out hands just yet. Still can't figure out what hands do just yet. It continues here. It says useful image generation from the first cave paintings to modern infographics, humans have used visual imagery to communicate, persuade, and analyze, not just to decorate. Today's degenerative models can conjure surreal, breathtaking scenes that struggle with the workhorse imagery people use to share and create information. From logos to diagrams, images can convey precise meaning when augmented with symbols that refer to shared language and experience. GPT 4.0 is image generation excels at accurately rendering text, precisely following prompts, and leveraging 4.0's inherent knowledge base and chat context, including transforming uploaded images or using them as visual representation. This capability makes it easier to create exactly the image that you envision, helping you communicate more effectively through visuals, advancing image generation into a practical tool for precise power. Now, in my personal opinion, this will end up killing graphic designers, especially people that design flyers and shit. Like, this will end up killing people that design flyers. I swear to God it will. So this is one that shows character consistency. Let's press play on this model, on this particular example.
How's it going?
Pretty good. One thing that I'm really excited about ImageGen is the ability to keep consistency in characters. I'm David Medina, or DMed, and I work on multimodal. What I want to show is one of my favorite prompts, which is, can you create a low poly penguin mage? Make it very, very low poly. Surprisingly, it's sometimes hard to get very good low poly outputs. It's not like other image generation models where it tries to generate something based on just the text. Instead, it uses the large language model understanding of what does the user want, what is the intent. I also like some board games, so miniature-like games. So what I'll do now is generate a miniature from this. So ideally, we'll see a penguin that looks like this with the same staff and a hat. So can you make me a realistic miniature as if a professional made this and painted it? This is what I think excites me the most about ImageGen. The other image generation models will try to create literally what you said. But what's special about this is, one, it'll keep the context of this character, and then two, it'll understand what I'm trying to ask it for and generate very similar model, but in a miniature realistic style. It infers what I want. I don't have to tell it every little detail. One other realistic thing we could do is, can you make a crystal version of this with light reflecting and very realistic? Again, I'm just giving a very, very simple thing. Normally, this is not enough for other models to generate something very detailed, but the model understands what I'm asking for. It'll think what type of style it should have. So this ability to really understand what the character is and make edits and understand what the user wants, for me, it's just an amazing capability.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I've seen a bunch of people on social media basically doing loads of different using those different examples of ads. So I saw some people basically using the image generator to do lookbooks for brands. So this one particular guy had a brand that does hats. I think the hat was like Dad Gang or something. So he said, yeah, put this hat on a model sitting by the beach or something. A dad sitting by the beach with his son. And boom, the image gets generated with that hat. Like absolutely incredible. So it kind of takes away the need to have like models in certain lookbooks or for certain product images. I've seen a lot of really cool stuff for flyers, for product launches, for advertisements in terms of just like advertising a product and whatever else it may be. It's going to be a real big game changer. And the funny thing about this is that this has just only been made available to paid customers, not to the free. Once it gets to the free people like ourselves, the real fucking bottom feeders, it's gonna get fucking wild. So let's play another clip here. This is for text rendering.
Hello. I'm Alan. I'm a research scientist at Openai. People tend to say a picture is worth 1,000 words, but being able to also render like a few words or symbols can carry like thousands of pictures, you know, with a relatively simple prompt, like visualize an infographic explaining Newton's prism experiment in great detail with a wide aspect ratio and a dark blue background. So this is like an example where, one, we're going to rely on being able to render text in useful ways, combine it with visual elements that actually ground what this text about this experiment even means, and hopefully, you know, help students who are more visual learn both through, you know, language descriptions of a phenomenon, but also, you know, a visual imagination of what the experiment actually looks like. It's no longer just about making imaginary scenes that look aesthetic and things like that, but it's really about communicating and imagining and doing so at the same time.
And for me, I've fucked around with graphics before. I've been able to design flyers for my own events or a few things here and there for the companies I worked for. And one of the hardest things to do in the beginning is just to get enough ideas out there. Because sometimes you're able to pluck out the best idea by doing many ideas, many iterations. So one of the handiest things I feel like about AI that's really helpful is that you get to iterate, you get to kind of ideate really quickly. So I can probably do like 10, 20 fucking, you know, ideas for a flyer for a rave I want to put on, but then for the 20 ideas I might combine 3 of them and then add a bit to it with my own mind to make final the flyer that I like to see. You know, that's why I think using AI is good for. I think just using it solely to just do the prompt and spit out something that you want can be a little bit redundant, a little bit shit, and lacking in a bit of imagination and spark. But I think the best way to do it is to kind of help it to kind of give you a bit of a start. and then you just kind of take what it's giving you and kind of do and sprinkle some of your own magic and star power all over it to kind of get where it needs to go. But the really mad thing about all this stuff is just like how quickly industries are being wiped out, you know, how quickly like just industries and people's jobs and sectors are just going in a heartbeat. And we all know with technology, there is no like caging this beast, right? Once the horses are bolted, that's it. There is no going backwards. There is no scaling this back. No amount of flipping governmental influence, control, protocols, whatever it may be, laws, is ever going to stop this this steam train going and going and going and going and going. So it is quite sad that we haven't really figured out a way to best help those people whose jobs are going to be eliminated. Because it's no surprise to me that in the times that I was looking for a job, especially here in London, maybe it's different somewhere else, but most of my experience working has been in like marketing, social media, community management, customer service and shit. And I found, especially with marketing and social media, the roles aren't as plentiful. And if the roles are available, they require a lot more than just what I used to do, which was, you know, managing social media accounts, which was managing emails and newsletters and stuff, maybe being in charge of publishing a blog or whatever and keeping a hold of that sort of stuff, and any and maybe helping out with any kind of communication that goes out to the customers. Now I'm seeing a lot of people when they're trying to hire for those marketing roles, they're essentially asking you to come in as a marketing manager. They don't want you to come in and send like 2 newsletters every week. No, you have to come in and run the whole thing. Because obviously, you know, they don't need you to do 2 newsletters because they could easily get an AI to basically spit out a newsletter, you know, with a couple of prompts way quicker and way more consistency than you could. So I found that even on my level of being a social media manager, of being a marketing assistant, of being a community manager, those kind of roles aren't really around anymore. And I wonder if it's because of AI. You know, I wonder if that's because of that. Because you imagine if I'm a marketing manager, I could probably, you know, use AI as a tool. But then using it as a tool means I don't need an assistant. I don't need a subordinate. I don't need somebody I need to manage or look after because, you know, I could just do it on my own. And the things that I can't do, I can just kind of, you know, put that through AI and kind of go from there. So it is kind of eradicating and taking away a ton of jobs, but I am loving the results. I'm loving the creativity around it. I'm loving that it's starting to look a lot more appealing to the eye, especially some of this image generation shit. I found that before, some of the AI images that were being generated were a little bit tasteless and lacked that spark, lacked that sprinkle, lacked a bit of creativity, just lacked maybe a bit of a human touch. I don't know what it was, but I feel like now they do. They're adding to it. It's kind of looking a little bit different than before, which I'm really loving. Oh, look at this image. Photorealism and style, turning any, that's fucking incredible. Oh my days. So yeah, there's loads of really cool examples here. You can find courtesy of the OpenAI site to see all these really amazing images that have been generated via small, easy prompts available. Oh wow, look at that. That could be a new one for my persistence fucking channel, which I haven't done yet actually. That's a really cool logo. I love that. Overcome inertia. But yeah, loads of fucking things on there. But one of the best things to come out of this has been the Studio Ghibli trend. The Studio Ghibli trend, favorite fucking things. Personally, unpopular opinion, I think Studio Ghibli is very overrated, in my humble opinion. I think all that fantasy at whatever anime style, it kind of takes away a lot from the narrative and the story. You know, it's a little bit too much, you know, I don't know. It's not for me personally. It's just not for me. I think it's way overrated. It's kind of like the anime that a lot of white people love to fucking watch and view. It's like if you're not really on the anime thing, but you want to kind of get in, that's an easy way to kind of get in. But, you know, I could be incorrect on that one. But I have loved people generating images in Studio Ghibli style. No, people using OpenAI's image generation to generate images in the Studio Ghibli style from iconic images in culture. They could be screenshots, they could be pictures or like, you know, screen caps from iconic movies or times in history. Fucking incredible. So many good ones that have been all over the fucking social media. I'm sure some of you have maybe seen some yourself. I've shared a bunch as well on my own fucking socials. And it's been fucking incredible to see all these iconic images over the last few years be turned into Studio Ghibli type animations or illustrations. Like, you know, some of them not so great. Some of them maybe not the most tasteful in the world. But just imagine, right, when this comes available to the free members, because right now, this new image generation photo whatever feature is only available for paid subscribers. And I think the paid subscription for OpenAI is like 40 quid or something, so I ain't paying that shit. But once this shit becomes available to us regular bottom feeding freeloaders, some of the images are going to be heinous. They're going to be horrendous, because that's where all the trolls and the real fucking, you know, edgelords kind of exist in the free tier. So when it becomes available to the free tier, these images are going to get far worse. Trust me, daddy. So yeah, loads of iconic images that you can see here from over the years. I'm sure some of them you guys recognize. If you don't see them, by the way, and you're listening via the audio podcast, don't worry. I'll put a link to my image BB fucking album, so you can view all these images yourself. But they're really fucking cool, really fucking funny. And again, just kind of show you, like, you know, a really strong, powerful AI image tool gets launched that can transform and revolutionize industries. And the first thing people do is create like nonsense images, you know, images of like these iconic scenes or the iconic GIFs and memes in an animation style. They could be doing loads of other things. They could be trying to make it work and find out ideas to launch businesses or to do this or do that. And the first thing we do as humans is fucking turn all these images into cartoons. Honestly, so fucking incredible. So you got more here. You got more here again. Studio Ghibli style shit. All these iconic images over the years, of course. Absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. I can't wait to do some myself as well when it all eventually launches. But big up OpenAI. And this goes to show, by the way, this goes to show how important it is to have competition. Competition is what pushed them to do this. It pushed them to perform at this level. Because people were seeing like, what the fuck? Like DeepSeek was launched for how much? OpenAI was raised how much? The guy that fucking founded OpenAI has been on, you know, panel discussions talking like he needs like $1 trillion. I think that's what he did, right? I remember he went on a show somewhere, I don't know where it was, and basically said he needed $1 trillion, right, to launch something. Like crazy amounts of money, crazy amounts of chip power. And now the Chinese have fucking come out with DeepSeek and basically proved to everybody that you can create an AI model for not much money that can compete with some of the top ones out there that have all the resources and all the money. So I think that's pushed OpenAI to launch this feature of this kind of level. It seems like it doesn't have any kind of pain points, no errors. It came out incredibly smooth, very well polished, and everyone's really enjoying it. So I can't wait to see what people create going forward. I can't wait to see what people create going forward. And obviously the CEO obviously replied as well, courtesy of Variety. Let's hear what they had to say regarding all of these Studio Ghibli AI images. Courtesy of Variety, it says the latest version of OpenAI's image generation technology has resulted in a flood of users sharing images on social media that have been transformed into the style of Studio Ghibli, the legendary Japanese animation studio. On Tuesday, OpenAI launched what is called the most advanced image generator yet, built into ChatGPT 4.0 that features a natively multi-model model capable of precise, accurate, and photorealistic outputs. As it turns out, the image generator also is very good at replicating the anime style of Studio Ghibli, the company behind such popular films as Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro, and The Boy and the Heron. Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, claimed in one viral trend in a post on X on Wednesday, indicating he's himself been Studio Ghibli-fied. Altman wrote, "Be me, grind for a decade trying to make super intelligent to cure cancer or whatever. Mostly no one cares for the first 7.5 years. Then 2.5 years everyone hates you for everything. Wake up one day to hundreds of messages. Look, I made you into Twink Ghibli style." Yeah, exactly. Altman also changed his profile picture to X to the Ghibli style images. Reference to the Ghibli North America declined to comment. However, Hayao Mizari, the co-founder of Studio Ghibli, has previously expressed strong disapproval. Oh, this might be an issue then, isn't it? The co-founder of Studio Ghibli has strongly expressed disapproval of AI-generated animation. In the 2016 meeting where he was shown an AI animation demo, Miyazaki said, "I'm utterly disgusted If you really want to make creepy stuff, you can go ahead and do it. I do not ever wish to incorporate this technology into my work at all. I strongly feel that this is an insult to life itself. Fucking hell. You can't get a more stronger statement than that, innit? I'm utterly disgusted. If you really want to make creepy art or creepy stuff, you can go ahead and just do it. I would never wish to incorporate this technology into my work at all. I strongly feel that this is an insult to life itself. AI is an insult to life. Fucking hell, mate. Big up Miyazaki. I fucking rate that. More recently, Hollywood actors and other creators have voiced their concerns, blah, 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 blah. Me personally, I think it's all fun and games. I'm interested to see how it evolves, how it develops. Like I said, with my flyers and the kind of world that I come from, creating cover art, creating flyers in general, maybe ideating some stuff, coming up with some drafts to then hone into my own thing later on down the line. I think this is an incredible, useful tool, and I can't wait to use it at some point. I can't wait to use it at some point.